All right, what's up, guys? I've been having some audio issues, but we are live and this should be working now. A lot of you know I don't watch AFL. I don't know much about AFL, but my friend Max Bossom, he's a fellow kick streamer. He works with me on Clip of the Week. You get to see his amazing work there. He's just a great person. He said there needs to be awareness about what's going on here. So I want to take a look at it, find out about it, see if I can relate it to my own sport. And obviously it's about a broadcasting deal. That's an issue that affects people all over the world. I know I've got a lot of Canadians, a lot of US fans. How has it been affecting you in your region? Let's find out what the hell the AFL's done. This one doesn't affect me, but it affects me in the way that the more bad deals are done, when I don't know anything about this deal, but the more that it happens, the more it becomes commonplace, the more the everyday person gets abused and misses out. So let's find out here.
$1 billion deal that secured Gillon McLachlan's legacy as AFL CEO and set up the health of the competition for generations. The broadcast deal signed, it's the $4.5 billion deal.
Yeah, so we missed the start. The $4.5 billion deal till 2031. I mean, I can't do the maths on that. I'm sure it's a lot of money, but I'm not the biggest fan of long deals like that, but I guess it's only, we'll see.
With Gillon McLachlan's legacy as AFL CEO and set up the health of the competition
$4.5 billion
for generations. The broadcast deal signed in 2022 made sure the game was still available on free-to-air television and on average in its duration pocketed the league an extra $70 million per season.
So that's great. So it was 11 years, I think. 11-year deal or 9-year deal. And they said it guaranteed it would stay on free to air. Certain games, right?
The truth is, the AFL even took a pay cut and rejected the mouth-watering 10-year, $6 billion deal from Paramount, which would have made all the games sealed tight behind a paywall. But as we are making our way through the first
so far this sounds good.
Broadcast deal, a couple of things have popped up unexpectedly, and the AFL clubs are not just unhappy, but concerned about the direction of how people watch the game.
Okay. So AFL clubs are
Caroline
speaking out about the
Wilson
deal.
detailed the issues and AFL response in her article in The Age. The Super Saturday KO promo, which we all know, is every AFL game on the sport's most traditional day behind a paywall. And it's
Now this is where it applies to me. I don't know if you can hear my dogs, but they're not happy about it if you can. This crosses over to the NRL, but I'm going to watch this and I'm going to talk about it at the end. But I am joining Max and anyone else who's concerned in this in saying that it's disgusting what's happened. But anyway.
It's the number one issue. The McLachlan announcement came at the start of the 2022 final series, but the deal did not kick in until he was long gone at the start of the 2025 season.
Okay, so he was gone.
Nasties. Notably the fact that the AFL had chosen for the first time to charge its supporters to watch football on its most traditional day and to place every game on a Saturday behind a paywall.
So was this in the original deal or was this not known about? It says that the guy who started it, he's gone and now it's 2025 and all of a sudden we're coming out here. So this affects NRL as well. So they've done the same deal. So basically I'm a free to air enjoyer of sports, right? So for me now in rugby league and now in AFL, on a Saturday, like the weekend, when there is no game that is on any free to watch platform. So Saturdays are totally removed. And can I just say, as an NRL fan, as a watcher, it's bullshit. Okay, the cheapest version that you can pay to have the sports package is $45 a month. They're basically, if you're a real fan, if you're a passionate fan, which so many of us are, it's why we love the sports. It's really forcing you, man. You can't watch your team on a Saturday, even if it's in that primetime slot, or any team. You can't watch any game on Saturdays. So, yeah, whoever's inked these deals, well, let's see what else has happened.
Now, for those who can afford the KO subscription, it's not a big deal. To watch
so that's
AFL game before,
where you watch it.
You didn't need to have KO or Foxtel anyway. But for those in more rural areas or who can't afford the subscription.
That's right. Look what it says right there. Not available for use in remote regions of Australia. So there's some people totally alienated, and rural fans are some of the most passionate fans you'll meet.
Subscription fee, it has been bad. It's estimated there has been a loss of nearly 500,000 eyeballs on Saturday night games, despite 100,000 people boost to that KO subscription.
So it worked for
A lot
them.
of people
So they're happy. They got 100,000 extra subscriptions, so you get notifications there. So, you know, the people who are already wealthy, they're fucking doing great.
are missing out. Not one non-Victorian club of the 6 contacted by this masthead is happy with the new deal. At least 4 are deeply concerned about the changes the new deal has forced upon the fixture and the loss
Yeah, well,
of
the fans
audiences
can't
on
watch.
Saturday. The truth
Wait,
is,
what was the end of that?
fixture
The clubs based in Sydney and southern Queensland, removal of Saturday Night Football from Channel 7 has handed the NRL a free kick. Well, don't worry about it, because there ain't any of that here anymore now.
and the loss of audiences on a Saturday. The truth is, the interstate clubs have every right to be disappointed when you look a little deeper. Many Victorians might not know this, but the exclusive rights to Saturday games really are exclusive. Even in the last broadcast deal, interstate games would still be shown live, even if they weren't scheduled nationwide on the free-to-air broadcaster in Channel 7. But believe it or not, football fans from South Australia and Western Australia had to wait until round 9 to watch their clubs live on 7. That's right, the first 2 months of the AFL
Yeah, no, that really points it out for fans. You had to wait months to be able to see your team play once.
season. The games on Saturday for say the Adelaide Crows and West Coast Eagles were shown with a 90-minute delay. That is criminal and just so wrong. But it's even worse for the sides in New South Wales and Queensland who had to wait until round 11 to get their games back live on free-to-air television on Saturdays. The
So
biggest
what-
loser out of this new broadcast deal so far is the reigning premiers in Brisbane. Not a lot has gone right off the field, and it is hurting the club. Before round 12, the club has had just 2 games on primetime 7 slots, which is very low for a premier, and they
That's
have
right.
had a
They're-
drop off of audience.
They're meant to be
which
the...
Wilson notes
Well, they are.
has
They're
not
the...
been lost
the
on
best
their
team of
major
last
sponsor
year.
in insurance company Yui.
Oh, of course. A big part of sponsorship for clubs is, you know, getting the jerseys out.
Obviously, Mother Nature has had an impact, ruining that opening round game against Geelong, which would have delivered big ratings as it was the first game of 2025. But for all the talk the AFL has done to boost numbers of participants, crowds, and overall viewership in the northern states, not having games live on TV until the midway point of the season doesn't make a lot of sense and isn't helping the cause. It's actually lucky Brisbane and the Gold Coast Suns specifically are playing well and might have deterred those with a KO subscription to not get it and therefore lead to even lower viewing numbers.
So for the non-Aussies out there, I'm going to explain what's happening. Obviously, sports want to expand, and part of the expansion is Victoria in particular is AFL heartland. That is where the AFL thrives. It has the most teams. Everybody's an AFL mad supporter except for me. I like rugby league. But anyway, everybody else though, everybody I know, they all watching footy, AFL. Queensland and New South Wales are more rugby league based states. So there's AFL teams in those states and they're trying to push, they're trying to get more fans, they're trying to grow the sport in those states. So that's what it's talking about there with the push to try to expand. And then if you're limiting the amount of games you can even see of the team, then how is that going to help you expand?
But let's focus back on the Sydney Swans. Their numbers
So they're
of
New
late
South
are
Wales.
alarming. The Age reported 2 weeks ago an estimated TV audience in the Sydney market of just 10,000 viewers, which the
That's
Swans' narrow loss to Essendon in the Saturday twilight game at Marvel Stadium. Just 10,000 people.
right. So
the
they're
entire
delaying the
market
games an
tuned in.
hour and a half. That's
Again,
stupid.
The 90-minute delay is a big reason why.
Now, did that say the amount that it would have been? All right. So they've only had 10,000, which is pathetic. 60 to 90K alone there. Yeah, that's a lot.
Tuned in. Again, the 90-minute delay is a big reason why. Had the game been shown on Channel 7 into Sydney Live, as it would have been last year, and not on a 90-minute delay, the audience would have sat between 60
No, we
live on Fox Footy, but I highly doubt in the Sydney market that enough Swans fans or football fans can make up for the 50 to 80,000 drop off in viewers that the broadcast would have had if it was live on 7. That data goes to show the impact the Saturday paywall is having in these non-traditional AFL areas. It's something that has definitely been hidden away from Victorians and those who can afford KO. The broadcast deal was supposed to secure the long-term
Yeah, if
health
you're
of the
used to
game,
watching it on
which
those
is no doubt
subscription
financially,
services, then you wouldn't
the
know.
broader effect on the fans might be having the opposite effect, and that is a concern. But the AFL is still comfortable with the decision and growth points in certain ratings. AFL boss Dylan has combated the deep grievances around the decision to play Saturday football behind a paywall by arguing that Channel 7 telecasts the same number of games per week, 3, in this broadcast agreement as it did in the last. All
Paying
finals
for
remain
football
free.
on a Saturday will become accepted over the broadcast journey. Get the hell out of here. Why are they fucking licking the boot of Foxtel?
And the view from head office is that this is the first year of a 7-year deal and that paying for football on a Saturday will become accepted over the broadcast journey. It is noteworthy that the ratings on Thursday night, a key time slot for the competition, are up 4% compared to 2024, and Friday night's ratings are slightly better, up by 1%. Pair that with big increases in live attendance on the Thursday and Friday night games, helped by the actual fixturing of big MCG matchups, and there is still green on the AFL's paper and enough to defend
So
the
they're
Saturday
saying it's all good.
paywall and delayed games for interstate fans for the first portion of the season. But does the green overtake the possible red of 500,000 fans missing out on live football on a Saturday? It's unlikely. The new deal has 6 years to run beyond 2025, and although club chiefs are not happy about some elements of the rights agreement, they agree little can be done to change it, given the sensitive nature of the media landscape and the realization.
So the deal is worth $643 million a year, $70 million more annually than the last agreement. So no wonder they're happy. Major beneficiaries have been the players, but not the coaches, who feel aggrieved and disrespected. So players are earning more. So, you know, that's good. That is a benefit out of it, but I feel like there could have been other ways around it.
On the deal, he left saying these words: "We want the game to be for everyone," said McLaughlin when he announced the deal, which was presented as one of his key
Everyone who can
priorities
afford
at the time. And this partnership will help us to do more to engage with all communities, in all states and territories, and across Indigenous and culturally diverse communities. Perhaps this is
that
true,
right?
but on Saturdays not so much. Who knows the impact just one day could have in the
It's true every other day. Saturday's the main day, dude.
interstate markets.
And like it did mention the rural there. The rural audiences there. So what do you think about it? I'd be keen to hear people's opinions who aren't Australian. For me, it's disgusting. The same things happened on NRL, and I'm sorry. You should be able to watch a sport on Saturday that you've grown up watching your whole life. They can't... Look, we're passionate fans. I'm not paying $45 to watch a Saturday game. You know, I'm not gonna be forced into doing it. And that's what they've done. Saturday, I always watch a rugby league on Saturday. Religiously. Every week. So, no, I mean, look, is it different in other parts of the world? In the States, in Canada? Are you used to, or anywhere else, because we got a global community here, and I appreciate you all. Anywhere in the world, has this happened? Are you used to not being able to watch, say, hockey or NFL on like a Saturday, or are you still able to watch those via like free means? It certainly does affect rural areas who don't have good internet access, so that's a big negative. I think overall it's a bad decision. Like, there's not going to be that many people. What they say, 100,000 signups? That's a lot of signups. You know, they're happy. That's their money. That's those millions that they're spending is getting covered. But overall, I think it's negative for the game. And, you know, people are habitual creatures, right? I just told you, every Saturday I watch a game. Or I used to. You know, you don't want to break a long-earned habit. You got a loyal audience. It just seems like they're shooting themselves in the foot to me because the less you're watching of a sport, the less you're thinking of a sport. You know, you can watch a game that gets you G'd up for the next game, and then I want to see how that team goes, and I watch that player. So removing that is a pretty vital element. Let me know what you think, guys. Appreciate you so much. Get over to Kick, follow Max Bosm, follow me over at Kick. We'll be there today. Today I'm doing exclusive on Kick. If you've never been to a live stream, just come say g'day. Just do it. I reckon you'll want to hang around. We'll see you there. I appreciate y'all. Catch you tomorrow.